Hello, this is Tim with TAH-DAH Farms, and we got the corn planter all cleaned out. It's washed out, cleaned out, seeds out of it, and it's in storage now for the summer. Won't need it again until next year. A few things I want to have worked on it this year. We'll talk about that another time. Just a few parts that need to be fixed. Bushings for the row units and finger pickups, need to go through all that stuff. But anyway, the plan is today, 6600 combine. I bought new wheels, tires that is, for it a couple months ago. They told me whenever I got them off to bring them down, and all the field work's done, waiting on a few things to dry out, and we're not going to plant beans for another couple weeks, so this is the goal today. Get those off, get them down to the tire shop. Well, first thing we got to do is jack the combine up, and it weighs a little over 13,000 pounds, so I'm being very cautious to make sure I got blocks and everything under there. It's a 20-ton jack, so we're jacking that up, and we're going to let it down here. Got it the right height, so we should be able to take the lug nuts out. So just being cautious. I wish I had the video camera running earlier. Those first 6 bolts, there's 8 of them on there. We were jumping on that handle trying to get them to break free. And then I started recording here, doing the last 2. And it wasn't too bad on those. Took a little effort, but that's about a 6-foot pipe on top of breaker bar. Break those bolts loose. So once we got them loose enough, grab the impact, zip, 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 zip. Pops them right off. And then the boards had it set just right that I could wiggle that wheel right off there. Worried about it falling, being a little rounded edges on those cleats, but just worked it back and forth, rolling it forward a little bit, back a little bit, getting it away. It's about I don't know, 10 inches or so inset on the inside of that rim, the outside of that hub. And once we got it clear of the hub, we rolled it outside. That's Dad standing there giving me a hand. Eventually he gets there. But yeah, I was worried about it rolling on top of me. But we get it outside. And I was worried about it falling on me. There you go, one down. So then we get to the tire shop. Used the tractor and the loader to get them up on there like that. And then I talked to Miller Brothers, and they were okay with me videotaping. This thing here is designed for agricultural tires. And that's Brent back there, the Miller Brothers. Putting it up on that device. Gotta let the air out of it. And I'm voicing this over because it was so loud at times in there. A couple times I grabbed my ears and put my hand over them. But that device there will all hydraulic control, that little stand he's got there, and pushes on there and rolls that tire right off the bead. Pushes it in there, flips it over, and then that little pointy thing here, I don't know what you want to call it, it gets underneath that bead, and then he can roll that, get that to come right off the edge of that rim, and puts a pry bar in there just like you would on a regular car. They got a little bar they put in there and roll that right around there, and just kept working it in and out to pull that tire off that rim. Quite impressive how that works. But he just keeps working it right around the circle, and that little device there does all kinds of hydraulic moves, and obviously he's done that a bunch. Boom, right there you go. Off it comes. Then they jump around the other side. He pushes that wheel up against there and pushes. spins the wheel, and right off the rim it comes. And then the effort became.
Hey, you're winning. Don't fall over when it comes out there.
Oh, I won't.
Yeah, I shortened that video up for him a little bit. It took him almost 30 minutes to get that tube out of that inside of that tire. It was stuck to the rim and it didn't want to stretch over the edge. He worked pretty hard at getting that off of there. Then they just work the inside and roll it right off of there, and they tell me those tires, the tire alone, the rubber tire, weighs a little over 300 pounds. And boom, there she comes off. Pretty slick. He rolls that off to the side, gets it out of the way. Then he starts cleaning up the rim. Those tires, the cleats look good on them, but they're cracked real bad, and when I got there they were a little nervous about even messing with them, so I got the air out of them, afraid they were going to pop out. The tires we're putting on are tubeless, so he was going to try to clean those rims up a little bit so they would seal, and they were pretty rough, so we're going to opt to put tubes in. But Brent got his dad over there, and he's one of the family owners of the business there, Miller Brothers, and his dad helped him get that tire up on there, and pretty slick. They get it lined up. You got to get the one edge up over that rim there, about third. You see kind of an orange line there. He gets that inside there, the top of that, and then that leaves enough room. He can spin that thing right around, and you'll hear it pop when it comes over the bead comes over the edge of that rim. I got it kind of turned down. It's pretty loud in there. Boop, there it goes. Pops right on, and then he works that tube in. They say that tube weighs about 50 pounds. And he'll get that shoved up in there and gets that done. Then they'll put the tire on the outside and get that lined up. Apologize, we had the door open in there. It was kind of warm that day, muggy because it had rained earlier. But worked that wheel. He's using his head and body and everything. They're pushing to get that up over that bead. And got a little dark air. His dad's sitting on the truck. But works that right around. They got to be cautious at this point because there's a brand new tube in there. And them tubes, I can't remember what they cost, but they weren't cheap. But they get that rolled around there, and like I said earlier, they got to have that one side of that tire in on that rim enough, and it did not want to stay in there. So he uses this to push that in there and get it over inside that rim. Pretty nifty how you can just hydraulically move that around. That's weighing a little over 500 pounds, that tire, rim, tube all together. But he's working it around there, trying to get that bead down inside there, and once he gets it, using that to hold instead of using it to push it on, he's on there with bars. Him and his dad there pushing on there. But they keep working it back and forth. Just pry bars there. That's all muscle, force, power. I would not want to try to do this by myself. I did ask them though if they came out to the house exactly how they do this, or if they go out to a field and a farmer loses a wheel out in the field, a tire breaks or something. He said they got a hydraulic press that it's on the truck, that they can break the bead off the tire off the bead. But it's this right here, just bars and push, pull, grunt, and work that right around by hand. I would not want to have to do that out in the field. This is a little more controlled environment, but they got it to finally get around there and pop on. Then they go through a process of airing it up. I think he said 4 times. He airs it up and lets all the air out. That gets the tube to untwist in there and straighten itself out, get rid of any wrinkles. And it took probably 45 minutes to do that first one, and then he does the other one. The other one a little faster because we didn't spend so much time cleaning the rim. Then we got home with him. There's Dad out there getting ready to help me. We're just going to shove him off into the front end loader. That's my daughter running the tractor and the loader. She does all right with it. She doesn't run the loader very often, so you'll see she'll get in and out, up and down, backwards a little bit. I might want her to curl the bucket and she goes the other way, or want her to drop the bucket and she curls the bucket. That's just not used to the controls, but she did a real good job using the clutch to back up and move around and get it lowered to the ground. And got the door open there a little bit. This tire here, this is the one that goes on the cab side of the tractor, the driver's side. So we're going to push it up. There's a little rise right here going into the barn, maybe about a foot. And I got trip hazards all over. But we roll that up in there. It takes a little effort right here to get that up the hill. Yeah, 6-8 inches. Get it rolled in the barn and just set it off to the side. Kind of windy out there, so didn't want to flip the door over. And then we got the other one off there and just going to use it, drive it right into the barn. And get it in there. And tractor, I don't know what I'd do without that loader. I tell you what, I finally said, honey, I got to buy a tractor with a loader. And I use that thing all the time. It just makes things so much easier. But, yeah, I'd hate to have to roll them off truck onto the ground without that loader. But get it loaded in there and we rolled into the barn. Like I said, your daughter did a really good job with that. Yes, she did. Well, we're back with the new tires, and no, it's not on there because you know how it is. You get access to something, so you start messing around with it. Up under there is the brake drum and stuff, and the brakes don't work, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. So while the tire's off, I got easy access to it on this side. Well, this tire is on. And there you go, it's on, and we had to jack it up about 2 more inches. These tires, evidently there's that much more tread on them, or they're just blown up more, I don't know. But yeah, this one here, I can get to that one there without the tire being in the way. So we're working on that right now. For whatever reason, the brakes don't work. That's something else I wanted to work on this. But as far as the tires, yep, they're on. Look good. Dark over here. They look good. They're Alliance tires instead of the Goodyear Rice and Cane. These are just a regular tire, 28L26s. They told me they weigh about 500 pounds. So there you go. At least one's on. We'll get the other one on here in the near future, but for now it's not there. So, but not that big a deal putting the tires on.
Thanks for watching.